Hi, my name's Sonia. This is Bill. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We'll be reviewing the fourth and final season of M. Night Shyamalan's thriller Servant. I'm sad. I can't believe this is the last season. But for those who haven't watched Servant before, here's what the show is about.
It's a family that has experienced an extreme tragedy, that they've lost their child. But the mother, played by Ambrose, doesn't remember this. And a nanny comes, and when the nanny comes, a baby appears. And the mother thinks this baby is hers. And the show is about a family unable to mourn and the mystery of who this nanny is and how did this baby come into the house.
I don't understand. They have a baby or don't they?
At the very end of season 3, Dorothy attempts to leave with Jericho. She leans back on the termite-infested banister, falls backward to the floor, slamming her body multiple times on the way down.
Ouch.
So, what I want to know is who moved the sofa? There was always a sofa at the base of the stairs.
Always.
She still would have been jacked up, don't get me wrong.
It's just not as bad.
So we're calling this first episode, we're going to name them. We're going to name each episode.
Our own names.
Our own names.
Yeah.
And this first episode, the name is actually Pigeon. But I'm going to call this episode That's Gonna Leave a Mark.
Ooh.
Because Leanne slammed to the guy's legs. They threw oil in her face.
Cracked the dude on the head. A lot of ouches in here.
This Pigeon episode was action packed. There
was.
was lots of drama, special effects. It was directed by Dylan Holmes Williams, who he directed other episodes in previous seasons, and it was produced by C. Henry Chison. Forgive me if I mispronounce that.
Yeah.
And then also M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Ishana Shyamalan.
Okay. I got to be honest, though. I mean, not to bring it down, but I'm a little worried about the whole thing. I'm worried that M. Night Shyamalan has been working on 2 other projects during this, right? Mm-hmm. He's working on Knock at the Cabin, which is coming out in February, I think February 3rd.
Right.
And that's with Rupert, Grint, and some other thing that has Dorothy character in it. And Dorothy's
Lauren Ambrose.
Yeah, Lauren Ambrose in it. And I don't remember what the name of that is, but it makes me wonder, is he going to phone in this final season or just hand it over to his daughter, who, he's been teaching her the business, being a director, and she's good. She's just not him.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not, because I don't think M. Night Shyamalan has directed any of the episodes in this final season.
That worries me.
Yeah, and some of my favorite episodes are the ones that he directed.
So you remember, if any of you are Game of Thrones fans, that's what happened with Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones, the story runners were they got some Star Trek project. It was either a movie or a series they were going to do, and they got real excited about that, and they were sick of doing Game of Thrones. So they totally phoned in season 8, and it ruined the whole darn series. So I really hope that doesn't happen with this one, but I'm really worried about that.
Yeah.
So, and M. Night originally said that the series is supposed to be 6 seasons with 60 episodes, and we only got 4 seasons. So, I don't know. Anyway,
I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too. I really, really do. This is the first time I hope I've been wrong about anything. But let's get into this first season, or this first episode of season 4. The first thing we notice is that Dorothy, played by Lauren Ambrose, has been in the hospital for at least 3 months. So we had talked about, in the last episode that we did, what do you guys think? Is there going to be a time jump, or is it going to start right from the thing? Well, we got a little bit of a time jump.
We know this because Leanne is on the phone with Julian, played by Rupert Grint, and Julian's drinking again.
From the flask.
Yes.
That's rough.
Yeah, so we didn't get a lot of that humor from Julian. He was only in a few short scenes in this episode, so hopefully we'll get some of that juju humor coming up.
Another thing, when one scene, I think it was the second scene that Juju was in, he shows that, after Dorothy comes home and she completely blows Leanne off after she tried to give her flowers, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Juju comes in saying, oh, it was a hell of a day. And he's holding Jericho in like a little kiddie seat or whatever.
Like a car seat.
Jericho is huge.
Yeah, he's huge. His legs are dangling from the seat, so I can't wait to actually see him.
Right. He's gotten big.
Yeah, he looks like he has. I wasn't surprised at all to see Leanne, played by Nell Tiger-Free, decorating the house, getting it ready for Dorothy's return.
Welcome home, Dorothy.
Yeah, she's always wants to please Dorothy. She even baked her favorite cake with green dye. So I don't know if that was a green velvet cake or... If it was a layered,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's green dye instead of red dye. I
don't know.
Yeah, but with the cake that she put in the oven was a white cake. So, anywho.
But this ends up burnt, anyways, because she's some crazy things happen, and she ends up throwing away the cake with the pan, which kind of confused me. I'm like, who would throw away the whole pan? So it kind of makes me think it's symbolic of. Like the peace offering that she gives Dorothy, and Dorothy ignores it. So it's kind of like peace is done between them two, And or maybe I'm just looking too much into it. What do y'all think?
I think you might have something there.
Maybe.
So it was good seeing Sean, though, host the season premiere of Gourmet Gauntlet.
Sean Simon Cowell.
Yes. So Sean's played by Toby Kebbell. And Toby Kebbell is so convincing as a real chef and as a mean judge.
Man, he's awful.
He's more like Hell's Kitchen. old Hell's Kitchen. What's his name? Gordon Ramsay. Like the original Gordon Ramsay. But there's all kinds of Gourmet Gauntlet paraphernalia.
Why would you do that?
Including like there's a billboard of Sean. There's he's got like an instant wine cellar box, a 3-day personalized meal plan, hats, mugs, and a Gourmet Gauntlet fill out.
It was really weird that they had like a when Leanne was walking through that room with all that paraphernalia, there was a 3/4 eaten pizza.
What do you think that would mean?
Well, I don't know, but usually she cleans that stuff up, right? Their house is usually immaculate. But that pizza was just sitting there. That was really weird for me. And another thing I noticed is like in the commercials for Gourmet Gauntlet, like they were worshiping Sean, right? Like all the things, they were chanting Sean's name. Sean.
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 I've
always been Team Sean, of course. So we'd probably be in the audience doing that. But, it's almost parallels. Like Leanne got her own cult now. Mm-hmm. And then, George and them had their cult. So it's a very cult-heavy theme.
It seems like at this point, things are pretty normal at first. Leanne goes outside to get flowers from the vestibule. Mm-hmm, I don't know if I pronounced it. Anyway, who says that anyway? Is that like a British thing?
I don't know.
Then all hell breaks loose. And we see a member of the cult who's intent on bringing Leanne back into their fold shows up in the house.
He just pops up in the house. Yeah. How did he get in the house?
Maybe through the front door?
Maybe. I don't know. But she didn't seem too worried about it. She jukes him. She does a football move and then just cracks him in the head.
It's going to leave a mark.
We're going to leave a mark. That's the first one, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're her protectors. Useless homeless kids, They someone called the cops on there to clear her minions out.
Probably
Who do you
Roscoe.
think it was? It definitely was Roscoe. He's the double agent. Mm-hmm. How does she not know this yet? Yeah. Well, I got a prediction. I think either Leanne or the cult is going to kill Roscoe. Either Leanne's going to kill him or the cult's going to rip him apart.
Yeah. I don't know what episode Roscoe's going to die, but Roscoe's going to die before the end of this season.
He's toast.
We think.
Now, one thing that bothered me about this episode, another thing that bothered me about it, is like I thought it was a dream sequence. Like it was just so outrageous.
Yeah, I thought she was tripping too, especially when Leanne was saying on Josephine in the back seat. And Josephine
she definitely was saying,
talking about you will burn with the rest, but...
Yeah, it was just too outrageous. They're attacking her. They're throwing everything at her in broad daylight. And then when she honks the horn, they run away, right? And they're like, only the church can see this. And then it's like they have this complicated and coordinated attack. But when the car starts to honk its horn, the alarm goes off, they don't run away. And then the damn hot dog man shows up. And I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It wasn't very believable.
Like, this is a residential street. And hey, believe me, guys, we've been there.
And that's a busy street.
Yeah, we've been on that street. If you guys haven't seen our video about the locations, we went to Philly and we went to all the shooting locations. We've been at the Turner House, all that stuff. And it's a super busy street. So I could believe people running back and forth, bikes back and forth, cars, blah, blah, blah. But hot dog man stopping in a residential area to sell hot dogs? No. I knew he was foul.
Leanne John Wick that hot dog
She
man
did
with
John
the
Wick
pen.
him. Yes. So she was like cautious, but she didn't know. She got out of the car and she was just walking towards him. Like, obviously he's bad though. You know, and she did John Wick him with the pencil pin to the neck thing.
Yeah, but the Church of the Lesser Saints did not come to
They
play.
did not. And then the lady running towards her, she stops to help him. You know, and they're just getting bolder and bolder. She throws the oil in her eyes. What a good shot.
That was a good shot. And I'm wondering, because obviously they're trying to do the ritual.
Yeah.
There's the oil.
Does it have to be in sequence?
Does it have to?
Because they already cut her.
They already cut her. So they need to cut her again. Hopefully we just find some answers out. So, but we are introduced to 2 new characters.
It's like the Addams family pulling up in the black Oldsmobile, right? We got the creepy twins.
Right, giving us some shining vibes.
Shining vibes. And then in Lurch from Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Munsters he was in? The big, like,
no, Lurch
7
is
foot
Addams
tall.
family.
Is he? Whatever. Anyway, 7 foot tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like, did he have a priest collar?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. He had like a clerical collar on.
Okay.
That's what it looked like.
So what's kind of cool here is we see Leanne find her strength, right? She's in there. She's scared. She's tripping. This guy's like intimidating her. And then she just stops and she's like, nah, you can't hurt me. You know, I'm something else. I'm something different now. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. And then just like we see in another episodes when she gets really upset, something happens. You know, like with the bees. Now it's the birds. Mm-hmm. And we see this Alfred Hitchcock scene.
Right.
Where the birds attack these zombies, which I like to call them, the Church of the Lesser Zombies.
Right.
And then she gets out and starts screaming at them. Right?
Yeah. She definitely needs to find better allies.
Yeah. It's kind of, birds or pigeons.
Yeah.
Like eagles or something.
But you mentioned you thought it would have been a better scene if they would have made Leanne seem stronger.
Yeah, she would just throw. I mean, she was throwing people around, like the girl.
Yeah, she kicked
the
her
jogger.
in the face. Yeah,
she kicked her and like knocked her down hard, and you know what I mean. She seemed really, really strong, but I was a little disappointed in the CGI here. You know, like
wait, you mean the eyeball?
Yeah, they picked the dude's eyeball out, and it just.
I didn't think it was bad.
It's a pigeon. Like, how's a pigeon gonna pick your eye out? Like, it's one thing. It was an eagle or something, a hawk maybe, but a pigeon. Like,
I don't know.
And the guy didn't even like protect his face. I don't know.
In the beginning, I don't know if you guys remember. I'm sure you do though, because they specifically showed a shot of the stairs and they showed a shot of a stair lift. So
preparing for Dorothy's return.
Exactly.
Right?
So we know Dorothy's not dead, of course. I never thought she was
crippled.
But yeah, they don't rolled Dorothy's butt up in the ambulance. So, and Leanne is.
You know, yeah, Leanne's shunning her group. Like, she was upset because, you know, obviously somebody, we think Roscoe, obviously, called the cops and he faked it. And he was with them. But they took them and dropped them off at some bus station and, you know, got them out of the way. So Leanne's kind of shunning her group.
Yeah, she closes that girl's like looking up at her from the window, like worshiping her, like, give me your power. And Leanne just shuts the...
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Leanne is shunning her group, kind of like Dorothy is shunning Leanne.
Right.
So, but surprisingly enough...
Which is a technique of cults, right? To gain more acceptance from the group. They want to please them.
I think it's going to work on Dorothy.
It may not work on Dorothy, but I think it's going to work on the homeless cult. you know, outside.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, though, Dorothy isn't kissing Leanne's butt.
She is not.
Yeah.
I thought she would like be afraid of her, you know, and be like willing to, you know, kind of give in to her. But she's not at all. She's totally blowing her off, and
I think she is maybe afraid of her, but I think she's also mad, angry.
yeah,
But she's
still
not
angry.
afraid enough to
She's not
be
giving in.
fake or act like she likes her or she's happy she's there.
She even made Sean shut the door on her, and like,
Right. So end of the episode looks like Leanne's upset because
did
Sean
not expect it.
Sean was like, she's like, I'm gonna go say hi to Dorothy. And Sean's like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. And then it looks like Leanne gets upset again and the lights start flickering, and then looks like the ground starts.
Oh, that's when the ground breaks up. Like
Right.
she's really angry.
Right, that's how it ends.
Yeah. We're going to do something a little fun, a little different. We want you guys to give an Uncle George rating. So 1 out of 5 Uncle Georges, being 1 being terrible. It wasn't very good. 1 Uncle George to 5 Uncle George being this episode was fantastic. In the comments, you guys give a 1 through 4 Uncle George rating and see like what you thought of the episode. I'm gonna give it a 2 Uncle George because I didn't really care for the episode.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a little outrageous.
I'm gonna give it 3 Uncle Georges,
Okay.
which I guess we'll put it averages 2.5.
2.5. Okay, between us, yeah.
So
Yeah, so we'll see what you all
let us
what
know
you all think.
Let us know what you guys think. Yeah. Thanks for watching us as usual. We'll see you next week. Next week's episode is called Itch.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Looking forward to you guys' comments. You know, we always love interacting with you guys and hearing what you guys have to think about it.
Yeah.
So please throw out your comments no matter how out there they are. We love them and respect them all.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.